it's clear to say Aster, apparently, according to the stat, don't know what they're doing. They've not done it yet on this patch, so they're going in blind, and I love it.
I mean, they're going into some heroes that other teams are picking, right? The CK first pick, that's what a lot of teams have been doing. So it's, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out for them. They've got interesting ways to get catch too with the disruptor, with the bugs. They have ways to get vision with that too.
So look, Sylar's going to try and take the rune away, but Sabo will be able to grab hold of it.
Yeah,
he's going to be down here on the offlane brew, and of course backed up by the Leshrac. He's going to have the two of those down there, the 2-1-2s, whilst at the same time Aster, they are starting with 3 heroes top. Fenrir and Baboka ready to back up XXS. So look to see if they can get any sort of early grab off the wave, but Chaos Esports Club playing it safe, keeping themselves underneath the tier 1 tower, whilst Misery's up there to support that safe lane Ember Spirit.
Do they have a sentry in the bottom lane, Chaos? They do not, so this Weaver should be able to get some stuff at least in the laning phase. One of the big things you do versus Weavers in lane is you just plop a sentry and then every time you Shikuchi's through you.
Look at this, we're seeing an attempt at the early sort of support movement to the mid. It's just a bit of harassment.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're bringing the disruption, but he's gone for the TP down bottom, Fenrir. So starting to sort of create the lanes we expect. We'll see how long Baboka stays around the mid. It's going to be nice.
Souls.
Yeah, make sure that he can get the Necromastery stacks up early.
Yeah. That's one thing is SF, it's always been the same. SF's level 1 is, he's got 40 base damage, Meepo has quite a bit more. The Weeha's getting pushed out quite a bit here by Baboka.
Yeah, I mean, some nasty right click, isn't it? The old Shadow Shaman has 76 coming into the lane.
Ooh, ward that they use block. Misery is actually trying to find it. He does not actually know where it is. He went into the tree line actually and checked, but he didn't see exactly what it was. That's a sneak spot.
Oh, that's a sneaky one.
So he will not have a pull. So that means HFN is going to get pressured a bit here by XXS whenever he gets any help. Because this constant Chaos Drake, you're an Ember Spirit. You don't like getting hit like that. Sure, now you have 3 armor. It's gotten better, the nerfs and stuff, but you still get hit pretty hard.
We're going to have Misery TP'd in on the mid lane to try and at least offer a bit of safety for Weeha. We'll have the Shadow Word ready in a bit to heal him up, I imagine. Baboka and Mushi, of course, starting the lane in a much better place. Mushi getting all the souls he needs. He's up to 12 already. He's got the level 2. We'll see how long Baboka does feel he needs to stay around. I mean, does he need to continue to be here, or are we going to soon see him move away from this lane?
Sure, they can get kills. Yeah. Anytime he gets a shackle on, ooh, they actually went for it, and they took a moment to actually skill it up, and he doesn't have a mid ward, so. But yeah, they can get kills here with these two, especially if Misery's here. Like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I guess it's just a Shadow Word, heal over time. They can certainly try and work through that with the triple raises if they get the burst.
CK's he's gonna out-sustain the top lane because what we've mentioned so much about this way Chaos Strike works, you just keep hitting him and hitting him and hitting him. Ember though is one where you can actually turn for a kill because you have the, you don't have a way to break the flame guard. So if you're too far in the lane and a rotation comes, then you can't get pressure, but CK is so king.
He's got good regen lane. He's got 4 tangos in the south ready to pop if he feels pressured on that top lane XXS. We'll see Baboka move down bottom. See if he can set something up. They do have the other 2 of them here. Fenrir ready to go, lead him for the setup. And Weaver able to catch up. But they don't want to go for it. Baboka doesn't see an opportunity. He's quite happy with the lane and the position that it is. As it is, Chaos, they were playing careful. They're keeping back from the wave. They knew that something was going on down there. So,
could be Mushi also calling for a play mid. He's probably like, hey,
that's the bigger kill.
Weeha's sitting half HP, couple raises.
Let's see. So, in they go. Shackles are there. 1 raise already on target. He's going to move in. He's got another raise. He doesn't use it.
They held both, too. He
had both raise. Did he have mana for both?
He didn't have ether. No, he didn't have both. He didn't have mana for both.
He didn't have mana for both, but he did have mana for the closer. I guess.
I don't think he would have actually.
Would it not have been enough damage if he did do it before the poof? It was a level 2 raise.
They didn't have ether shock either. It would have been close.
It's close. All right, he didn't want to kill it. Anyway, bottom lane, King. He's under trouble. They get the King, Sylar. And Fenrir able to find the kill in return. Sylar's trying to run his way away. Has got the stick charges. Will survive against the beatback from Tava. So first blood for Aster down bottom.
Fantastic start for them too, because Weeha still is not ready to the point to go to jungle yet. He's still too low level on the Meepo. So this movement that they did, having the Shadow Shaman sitting mid, is working really hard versus Chaos right now. And again, Baboka is just walking in. It is under vision, but it's just that constant pressure. It's letting Mushi just snowball this lane.
That is, yeah, Mushi. More than happy with how the lane's going. I'm going to see Baboka moving, and it's just, just this sort of movement, keeping Weeha away from the creeps, making sure that Mushi keeps this nice advantage in CS.
Misery eventually does look down that ward top, so he is able to get some pulls off and pull back the lane a bit here, but you do see CK is free farming as his Emperor. 3 lanes, free farm for Aster. All Chaos is being slowed down a little bit.
Interesting to see what sort of build Mushi goes for on his SF. I mean, does he sort of strike you as a Guardian Greaves kind of guy, or are we going to see some more sort of old school build, maybe some sort of Yule's build on the SF?
I'd like him to get a BKB really early this game, to be honest. There's just the gap closing. I think Blitz was talking about on the panel. It's this Ember Spirit. He's not mid this game, but Ember, you hit level 6, and the biggest crutch of Shadow Fiend is if they get on top of you, you're dead. So,
yeah, if an Ember and a Meepo army gets on top, you're getting blown up in the top lane. They'll get the chains out onto Baboka. They try his best to run. XXS does hold with the stun onto HFN.
He's fatal bound.
He is taking a bit of damage. XXS has to be careful how much he's being beaten, but should be fine as he is able to get himself away mid lane. Weehar just poofing out in time as he gets incredibly low. There to the Razor Ash from Mushi. He'll head himself into the jungle for now. Has the Shrine ready to pop if he feels the need to use it, and he will do so. He'll take it. No one else wants it.
This is when he's going to try to start catching up. He's only 400 gold behind the Shadow Fiend, who's quite ahead on last hits, but as well we'll see what Blitz talked about him.
And they are going to have this pretty strong global presence, right? With Weehar being able to set up around the map with the Meepos, you know, it's going to be very hard to read where he is, and then obviously HFN as well with the global potential, with the remnants and the bots down the line.
Yeah, I do believe he's going to go. I think that's why we see him saving right now.
I think so.
That's
with the Meepo.
No, he's shielded. Never mind. Right as soon as we say it goes face, but
yeah, but even so, he's still an Ember. He's going to be able to TP to lanes, go for some quick action with the Meepo, and bam, get out of it.
The face gives him some armor at least versus the versus poking him.
Yeah, I mean against all three cores, the CK, the SF, and the Weaver. It's nice. Gonna toy with VR a little bit. We are nicely using the vision to his advantage. Gets into the pit, poofs out before the SF, before the Shadow Shaman can see him. Yeah, this top lane, CS continuing to slightly favor HFN, but very close. XXS. He's also getting a lot from that lane.
He's level 6. He's had no help on the CK. This is a solo off-lane CK.
Bottom lane Tava. He's going to get TP reactions coming in to help him. Will be glimpsed back. They should have the damage to get him. Sylas diving in with the Shikuchi. Doesn't actually get the Shikuchi hit onto him, so Tava will survive. Shadow Word heal there from Misery. Fed bonds down, but Mushi's coming in from the side. Goes for the raise, but the infused raindrop keeps Tava alive. He'll turn towards King RD. The Thunderstrike is down on him from the Disrupt. He's trying to tangle up, but he won't survive. Baboka's there as well to secure the kill with the the shock. They'll look for more now. He's got the Shackles locked down. Sylas diving in deep behind the tower with the help of Mushi and Fenrir. They'll pick up a second down bottom. Aster making the early moves, getting Mushi into that bottom lane. They'll get some pressure onto the tier 1 tower as well. Nice rotation there from the SF.
Gives you free movements when you're like that as Shadow Fiend when you're versus a Meepo. You're like, he's just jungling. I can do whatever I want now. And HFN's not 6. XXS, we mentioned, he's 6 before the Ember Spirit.
And he can play aggressive. He saw what happened down bottom. Pretty much the entirety of Chaos Esports Club reacting to that pressure from Aster. So he knows he can play aggressive on the Ember despite being underneath the tower.
It's so far like a perfect start for Aster. It's 2k advantage from it. The Meepo is starting to catch back up in the jungle here, but I mean, they've had a CK literally alone in the top lane the whole game so far, and it just allows his supports to move around and secure the farm for, Mushi or Sylas.
Lot's going to be on Weehar to make some magic happen. Of course, if he's ever going to do that, it would be on his Meepo. Yeah. So I'm sure he's just telling the team, give me some time. Let me get me early items, get the Wraith Bands out at least. And then we can see what Weehar's going to be able to do.
For sure, and when you're playing with a Warlock on your lineup too, right? It's like your 5 position doesn't make plays. He doesn't make plays till 6. He's the team fighter. He's the mid-game guy. So that's the big thing you're looking at here for Chaos.
Weehar trying for a play towards the mid lane. It's going to get shackled. They'll turn around with the raises. Weehar's got to be careful with one of the Meepos. Will be fine. HFN comes in, jumps forward with the Remnant on top of Mushi. Mushi goes for the TP out as soon as he's seen the Searing Chains used. So he knows there's no further way to cancel him, and everyone will manage to escape there on Aster, despite Chaos Esports Club bringing 4 heroes towards the mid lane to try and make a play. They get nothing. Let's see what he did.
It was.
They're trying to bring it. I mean, it's the magic that they have, and it's as you say, it's gonna come together. Once there's the Blink Dagger on Weehar, now that we've got the 6 on Tavo, they have the team fight.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Instantly ready to go. They look towards Sylar. He isn't 6 himself, so no chance of a time lapse. Will be thrown up in the air. He's gonna have a chance to Shikuchi though, so he should be fine unless they get the stun bang on. They don't get the stun. The timing's not there from King. As Sylar will be able to hide. He's going to have another Shikuchi in a second. He's going to try for a TP out, though. And with the Shikuchi available once more, he will escape. So a little unfortunate there. Mr. King RD doesn't quite get the timing with the stun out of the Wind Pandas.
They glimpsed him, right? That was a really nice little play there. The glimpse to move the Leshrac away, because they were like timing the stun with each other to drop him down into it. But just a little play there by Fenrir does actually save the life And now they're making, I think Mushi's making a move down. Has he actually queued up
And
anything
if they can get another glimpse play, Tavo, he hasn't got the primal split. So if they can get the 3 raises upon him, they'll have a good chance. They'll drag him back.
One missed.
There's the second one, but as you say, with just the 2, it won't be enough to kill him. Tavo will survive.
That's twice now, actually. Mushi had the same thing happen in mid lane. He missed the first raise.
See towards the mid, Sylar. We got vision there, would have almost certainly gone for it with the bugs, but Misery was able to juke around the trees. Weehar's back in the lane. How's he doing on the money towards the Blink Dagger? 1,400 gold on the Meepo.
He's level 8 too, so he's, I mean, like we mentioned, complete. He's actually ahead of Mushi now in both gold and experience. Not after that tower though.
Drums done for XXS. I mean, as you say, this offlane CK level 8 at 10 minutes in. The solo lane worked out beautifully for him up top.
The literal solo, no assistance whatsoever.
Gonna go for the drag back onto Weehar. Does have the Baboka Shaman heading over as well. There's the backup from Misery. He's gonna be there to try and offer something. He doesn't, of course, have 6. Still just level 4 Warlock, so no sort of ult to throw down. Baboka, a little out of position, did go up to the high ground to try and find an opening to shackle onto the Meepo, but TPs were in from Chaos, and they themselves will get their first kill on the board as they take down Baboka and put a stop to Aster's attempt to make a play.
Slightly over-aggressive. XXS will use the Phantasm to farm some beach for himself, but they're still keeping that 3k gold lead, and that's like a, you know, Brew was wasted bottom, Phantasm was wasted for this team, for Aster here.
And there we go. The drag back set up for the raises to come out. An easy kill for Mushi. Nice. And it looks like Mushi's being Mushi. There we go. He saves his money up, as you say, and now Bam can just pretty much instantly buy the entirety of the Yule Scepter. I like this. This is... They're going to be able to make plays with it. None of this sort of grief stuff. You know, that's for the low skill SF players. This is the true player.
It lets him be a playmaker. It lets him just constantly run around and have things happen. So.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, he has it finished. It's going to be pretty strong. They've got a blink on the Meepo, and Aster's just walking uphill.
King on the high ground tries to go for the setup. Only gets the stun onto Baboka. They have now got the ult on Misery. I believe he must have used the tome to get that. As they'll turn, drop the ult onto Fenrir. Fenrir's caught out with a remnant forward from HFN. They'll search towards Baboka. Return with the Hex onto HFN. The HFN continuing to chase. Has got the chains back up. In they go with the Golem, pounding down onto Baboka. It will set up for a second kill for HFN.
That was bold by Aster.
Just head up to the shrine.
Walked up to the shrine.
Let's go.
Maybe they thought that the Warlock wasn't 6 yet, but even then, Brualt is going to be getting up back soon again too, so. Because
we did just see him and he was just level 4, so he must have been very close to 5, and then bam, I guess got the tome, and then, yeah, as you said, you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful if you're Aster. They've got the setup here onto Tavo, gets the split off just in time. We'll see if Chaos can do anything with this aggressively. They're looking towards XXS. Up in the air, he'll be sent. They'll try and surround him. Obviously, with no Golem to drop, it may be hard to do so, but they're going to commit with HFN. Remnanting forward, there's the stun from King RD. They'll finish off XXS. Now they can try and look for more. The primal split ends. Baboka will drop the wards, but it's not going to allow him to do anything unless maybe he can kill off Tavo. The Thunderstruck is down on him. They'll kill off Tavo with the ward placement. At the same time, up top, Weehai's got the control onto Sylar. Can't get out of the net. As Chaos, they lose the brew, but they're fighting a lot around and the dodge. HFN taunting Mushi there as the slight dodges the Yule setup into Requiem. Triple kill for HFN. Chaos, they've turned up. This is the aggression that they were waiting for to build towards. And my goodness, they hit Aster hard with it there.
And that was Aster trying to make the initiation. They glimpsed the brew back into them.
They did.
Tavo just pops it, but Baboka TPs and dies. Quite a couple mistakes there, but Chaos capitalizes.
Does manage to catch out Misery with the Yule Scepter.
And as you mentioned too, while all that's was happening in the mid lane, Weeha got a solo kill onto the Weaver.
Onto Sylar.
And these type of kills, when you're a Meepo and you're getting solo kills on an enemy core, look at Meepo now, level 12 pretty much. Just completely caught back up, even ahead of everybody.
You got to watch out for this Weeha Meepo.
And it is the E-Blade, right? Like we were talking about, of course,
it makes
CK.
no sense, yeah. And it's Weeha. He wants to have the playmaking aim. He doesn't want to have the items that he's going to sit around in the jungle and farm away. He wants to get active on the map. He knows his team needs it, and we just saw there, you know, by all means, Chaos, they can go for these fights. That was a fight without the Golem, that mid lane fight where they take a 3-for-1 trade across the map.
Pretty remarkable how quick the experience things change, right? Like Sylar's level 8, he's super low level on this Weaver now. Comparison, like Tavo, the offlane brew, is the same level as the carry Weaver. Just from one little situation that happens there.
We're going to see Sylar go for the Maelstrom on the Weaver. Anything else sort of crazy? Well, XXS.
Oh, speaking of Sylar mid.
Does get the time lapse off this time. They didn't quite have enough control. He's going to be able to Shikuchi his way down the river, and yeah, the net won't quite reach with that find from Weeha. pressure space is going to be there for Aster to push it up the tier 1 top, but they're going to try and react this. The rock's down onto the 3 of them. The fatal bonds as well. Mushi, he's melting. He'll pop the Yules onto the Ember Spirit in an attempt to hold HFN back, but they'll continue to chase. I don't know if Mushi can get his way out of this. They'll glimpse HFN. He tries to surround him, but he goes too early. So
he's still chasing.
He's trying to dive. XXS has got the stun on him under the tower. There's going to be a buyback from Baboka as Chaos. They're coming in under the tier 1. Buyback and TP in from the Shaman, but Baboka itself has to be careful as Aster, they are still on the retreat. XXS has been found in the tree line as Tavo has got the control with the stun into the Searing Chains from HFN. They'll finish off XXS. See if they can get anything more out of this. The Primal Split does end, but they've still got the Golem good to go. He's getting raised up on the high ground though. He walks in and Mushi's there ready and waiting. A couple of raises and the Meepo's dead. As Chaos, so they've got to be careful now. Mushi set up for more. Yules into the Requiem. Shackle controls there from Baboka as Chaos dove a little too far there on that one, feeding Mushi a double kill as they go past the tier 1 tower.
And another glimpse.
And with the War Vision, they've got another. King RD dragged back into the clutches of Mushi's SF.
Mushi's playing really well this game, actually. Just his small rotations, the small little step away.
And the Yules scepter, the build.
The Yules is clutch. And immediately into the BKB right afterwards.
This is what you wanted to see.
I love this. Yeah, this is actually so good here by Aster and Mushi at the moment. Yeah, Chaos just over-chasing a little bit there. They had the great setup with their rock and with their fight like around the tower, but the overall chase was a bit too far. They couldn't get the Shadow Fiend. Just a little too tanky on the side of him.
They have to be careful with that aggression. They don't need to play that aggressive Chaos Esports. They can't. You know, there's no sort of rush. There's no sort of need to get ahead of themselves with this draft. They've got a Meepo. They've got an Ember. They've got good scaling potential.
I feel like the Primal Split is the more important team fighting one. Even though it's like the rock is so big and like the fatal bonds and everything, it's really more about not the damage, it's about the control and keeping people in there. You know, Tabo can at least throw people up, get a stun off. The Golem, his stun is the initial, and then afterwards he's just kind of running. So does he have any punch in the up people? He does have 1 point, so maybe that could come into play here now next.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We go.
Big momentum swing though.
Tier 2 tower. The wards are back up. Baboka's able to drop them, take an objective.
And it's gonna just make the timing for Mushi even better. Once he's got this BKB, he's gonna be like pretty much immortal versus the side of Chaos.
Yeah, it's pretty much, you know, only gonna rely on Meepo getting on top of him, but even that's gonna be hard because they have a lot of control on the side of Aster between the Shaman, the Disruptor, and the CK. There's a lot that they have to worry out for. And as we've seen, if Meepo Weehart gets caught out by a stun, the raises are going to come in. And at the moment, he's still pretty vulnerable with just the Blink Dagger and the Ghost Scepter.
Well position here for a fight. They do have their split ready. Brock is also up in 5, so they're going to have everything. Aster does not have their Serpent Wards, but that's not one of
them. We'll get caught out by a bit of a nasty surprise. He's the one to find out the Chaos are there standing behind the tier 1 tower. They'll let this tower go, I'd imagine.
Instantly pings the ward because they stunned him before he turned the tree line, so he knows that they have vision up on that high ground.
Diabolic Edict and the push of the Meepo. And have no trouble taking this tier 1 tower without any attempted interaction there from Aster. As you saw there with the timing, a very good speed for Mushi to have the BKB complete on top of the Yules. As we mentioned, this is going to make him an incredible beast in the team fight.
How's Sylar done? He's caught up. He's caught up after that one death. He was up. I mean, he got so much space to just farm now on this Weaver. One death. Indeed. Maelstrom done. Going for BKB. Yeah, BKB is name in the game for Aster when you're playing versus Ember Spirit and Meepo, right? The majority of their damage early on is magical.
Smoke out from Aster. They want to make a big hit happen with this newly found BKB on Mushi.
So tremendously strong. Whoever they catch, Tabo.
Let's see him. Mushi goes for the setup. Has he got the timing? Well, with the Hex, it's easy. They'll land the Requiem. Shackles are down. Tavo ain't getting out of this. Mushi picks up a kill. They'll take that one. Without the Brewmaster, they know that Chaos Esports Club are unlikely to try and make any plays for 30 seconds.
And they have Serpent Wards, right? So if they wanted to try, they could try pushing a lane, go for tier 2, but they're too far away. They're just gonna look like push out bottom, at least with the CK. Maybe mid they could try. They don't really have they only have the one ward in the enemy jungle right now. They don't have wards around the mid. So that could be their goal that they... So just a farming game.
Blade.
Blade's done.
Is done. Yeah, let's see what this means. Atos also complete for King RD, so that extra bit of control obviously isn't going to be too useful though once all the BKBs do start getting completed on Aster's cores.
They can look, I think Chaos can look for trying to take a fight here though, even though how close is Tavo to 12? Not quite there, but they do have the smoke and like you said, those stuff. clearing out the mid lane, and looks like it's gonna be a go. Try to catch Aster. They don't have any vision really though. On the side of Chaos, they have like the vision in the mid lane, so they're kind of smoking a bit blind here, walking into a high ground.
This is not going to be too easy. You're smoking into the BKB of the SF. They're going to jump forward onto Mushi. Mushi turns with the Yules onto HFN. XXS in on the front lines. Static Storm down as well. They get the stun off straight away onto XXS. He's getting bursted pretty low. Mushi has been forced to pop the BKB. XXS, he's out of there. He's going to run away, but Boca will be the one left behind as they'll lose the Shaman. Everyone else does manage to get out on Aster. So, not the worst of losses, but at the same time, it was a risky play for Chaos. That could have gone a whole lot worse running into an SF BKB, but they get a kill, and they do force the BKB charge out of Mushi.
That was a very strange fight, because they static stormed on top of the Ember, and he ran around in circles inside of it, and just survived. They missed, I think, 2 of the shadow raises, because Mushi kept pump faking him, because he couldn't actually hit him. And then Baboka, who is their actual disable, got isolated with the CK.
And this is huge. They're going to get the rush. Huge. I mean, and that was a fight. Sure, it's just the Shaman, but it was a fight where, as I said, they get the BKB charge out, and they didn't use the rock. The rock's still there, ready to drop on Misery. So a very successful moment of play there for Chaos.
I mean, that secures them a Meepo Aegis, which is one of the crucial things you want to have on a Meepo. I think it's going to be the blink on the Brewmaster if he wants, and level 12. So another swing of momentum. Back and forth game. We are playing around those cooldowns for the most part here on the side of Chaos. But yeah, it seemed like Aster, but they had the BKB and all that. They got caught off guard.
They weren't able to go. I think XXS sort of getting on the front of it. You know, he ults and then straight away he is the pure focus. So they were able to deal with the Phantasm pretty quick and get him in a position where he just had to, tuck his tail and run.
They might have been focused on, like, as soon as they see the Brew split and stuff, and they're like, oh god, there's a lot of ults being committed, they might be like, how close are we to item timings, right? Because Sylar's probably like, I'm close to BKB, and then XXS is probably like, I'm close to BKB. So they're very close to their triple BKB core timing, which is, as we've been mentioning a lot, very good versus Chaos. Mostly magic damage.
Gonna TP up here. It's a good job for him that Chaos weren't sticking around looking for more action. Did go straight in on the front lines. And, I mean, he's doing it again. Yeah, Mushi forever keeping us on the edge of our seats. 3,200 gold saved up. What is he thinking about buying? Are we going to see him get some here?
We're going to find out right now.
He's going to go Butterfly.
There, we found out.
Or is it...
Wait.
E-Blade? Or Butter?
Okay, I thought he might sell it. He walked back to the shop for a second. I was like, what?
Is E-Blade a thing? Or is it definitely Butter?
E-Blade this game.
The HFM?
But I'm not. But they got HFN here with that.
Easy trap with the Static Storm.
Probably the E-Blade.
You think we go E-Blade SF?
Nope, Butterfly queued up.
Okay, there we go. I guess, I mean, yeah, evasion always nice, yeah, against Meepo for sure. You know, you've got a good chance of surviving. If you can BKB, get the ult off, had that 50% damage reduction, he knows he's not going to die to the Meepo army straight away.
They do have a crazy tricore too. If it scales to like late game and he's got right-clicking items, they've got like 3 right-clickers versus Chaos, so they'll be like, 3 hard right-clickers.
He's going to have this Butterfly in very good timing. Mid lane. Look at that found once again. Sylar gets caught out by Weeha's Meepo. Few Earth binds and a stun from King RD to lock him down. Instantly though, after they lose Sylar, Aster's actually going to go for a smoke up themselves. They do have a DD ticking on Mushi's SF.
They were setting up for it before Sylar actually got picked, so I think they were just like having him push the lane out, but
sure, but
Chaos capitalized.
Yeah, this is not something they really want to do. I don't think without Sylar alive, they'd rather hang on until he's back in. At least hang on until Mushi's got the completed Butterfly, because he is close. XXS does have the BKB, so he'll feel a little more confident going in on the front. Very close to having the level 12, so ideally for him, he wants that second point in the Phantasm before he goes.
A heart, though, on Weeha. That's a big scaler where he'll be able to tank a lot of that damage that comes out from Aster.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're still playing together with this Aegis timing that they still have for another 2 minutes.
I've got a full pipe done on the old Brute, ready to pop out, walking around Tavo with Vlad's and the pipe. He's offering a lot of auras for the team.
I like how they're playing this aggressive now, though. They get the 1 kill, they immediately go bottom. Only show the 1 hero, though. They only have Ember hitting the tower, and the other 4 are just sitting up inside of this jungle, waiting for somebody to try to respawn.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
They want to try to get something bigger out of this Aegis timing.
Go, Weeha. Just found the setup onto Sylar. He's bringing in more. Can he chain lock him down? The BKB's going to come out for Silent Sylar. He's just turning and punching into the Meepo, and Weeha is going to go down the once. That's the Aegis pop. We'll see if they can set up for a second time. Mushi, a little low on mana. Doesn't have any sort of raises or requiems to play around with. He'll put the BKB. The drop down, though, onto pretty much the entirety of Aster. That's going to allow him to kill off 2. BKB from Mushi and XXS pop. They're trying to fight, but Weeha's just too tanky. They can't kill him straight off. Mushi will pop the Requiem, but he's getting chain stunned up by the Primal Split. Split and King RD's Earth Splitter, and bam! Weehar's in with the E-Blade shotgun, and that's the SF dead. 50 seconds without Mushi. The control there as well. Onto Sylar. He's trying to get back to base, but the Earthbind holds him in place as they just get slaughtered outside the entrance to their base.
And this is their timing. They with the Aegis, they want to just break this. They want to break the game.
They're going to take these buildings incredibly quick.
He's level 19. Everyone else is like level 13s and 14s or 12s.
Oh, they're getting overrun now, Aster.
It's happening.
This bottom lane is going to crumble. There are still tier 2s in the other lane, so at least there'll be some sort of safety there for Aster. But this is just sort of feels like a sign of things to come. You know, at Chaos, they take a fight, and bam, they take objectives just like that.
And I almost keep saying it's just too much chaos in the fights, you know, because I don't want to keep saying the stupid, you know, But it really is, because there's 4 Meepos, there's a Golem that drops, and there's a Bruce split that's going on, and then you have your own Serpent Wards and stuff, but there's so much stuff in the fight that it allows Weehaw just to easily get these targets, and once BKB starts taking on SF, it doesn't matter, and their damage just feels super limited. It feels like the damage is only Mushi.
It really is. I mean, Sylar, you know, he's gone for the sort of Maelstrom into BKB. Sure, these BKBs may have allowed them to do something earlier, but it means that there isn't the damage. There really isn't. The Fatal Bonds, the team fight combos of Chaos Esports Club just easily outscale and do greater damage at this point of the game than what Aster has to offer in a 5v5 mid lane. Sylar, they've got time-lapse immediately.
Good damage soak. I mean, it's a 3,000 health Meepo now, who just stands in the front line, eats everything, and then he's got a pipe in the back lines plus his teammates all back. So the Meepo, you know, we were saying it looked like a good Meepo. It looked a little shaky in the beginning, and then everything kind of all started falling into place after they got that one little pick off on the Weaver into a Roche.
Yeah, but I guess as we said as well, you know, that's going to be expected. He was getting dual lane mid. There's a Shadow Shaman there, making sure that Mushi has a great start. But of course, you can know that Weehaw has played against every single combination of single lane, dual lane, in the mid lane as a Meepo. He knows how to deal with it. He knows when to back out, when not to feed. He's done exactly that this game. Only died the once, the Meepo, and now level 20. Incredibly farmed. Tavo gearing up to scale as well. In case the game does continue to go on, he's got a Midas picked up on top of the pipe and the Blads. So just continue to keep on pace with the rest of the cores in the game.
Mushi's level 18, so he's keeping relatively close to that Meepo, but then you see XXS level 13. Yeah, you see Sylar. I mean, he's got that XP gain talent, but that's with XP gain, he's only 7.
I mean, we just saw last fight, it felt like when there is a 5-man running at Aster, Mushi as an SF just, he can't really offer anything.
Tickles.
Even with that butterfly, it's just not enough to punch through, as you say, the 3,000 HP of a Meepo. So we are just going to look to stack up the E-Blades. Superior for the stats.
I think they're knowing that after that, especially, like they're probably feeling so safe in this game.
Oh, they saw how quick they took it.
Okay, wait for next Roche. Once we get next Roche, we just go. That's all they need to wait for, Chaos.
Yep, go for a fight, hit racks. The game.
They even maybe look for Sylar here. They're trying to, but
Sylar, he's had a tough one. Pretty much had no impact this game at all. 0, 3, and 4 on the Weaver.
Yeah.
There just hasn't been a place for him. Would you say that is down to the hero he's on? Is this just a tough Weaver game? Like, what does a Weaver do in a game like this when he's behind?
Weaver overall as a hero isn't really in the strongest place right now, right? As a carry, sure, we've seen him as like fours and stuff, or maybe as like an offlaner, but as a carry, this is, I mean, you can get punished really hard. A couple deaths and you fall off.
Set up in the mid lane. Look towards HFN. They have got the Hex out. They are going to drag him back in, but straight away, in response, the Rock comes out. The E-Blade as well onto HFN for now, keeping him safe there, allowing him to pop his BKB after the stun wears off. They do lose King RD on the left track. See them diving deeper. Tavo's trying to finish off Femra on the Disruptor. Again, those Sylar getting caught out by these Earthbinds. That's a dead Weaver once again. Tavo's still alive, even though they dropped the Static Storm down upon him. With a Pipe of Insight, he has so much magic resistance, he can just simply walk out. XXS has got a Meepo problem on the side of things, as Weehaw chases down the Chaos Knight, finishes him off, but Boca cannot hold them back as Mushi's trying to TP back to base. He'll make it, but everybody else on Aster is dead.
I mean, Weehaw just ran by himself at 3 or 4 heroes after the fight started, and they can't deal with him.
He's so tanky. He's got, with the 2 E-Blades, he's got great agi, he's got 27 armor, 3,100 HP.
Mushi!
I mean, why not? He knows there's nothing Mushi can do to get out of this. The Earthbind control's there, Mushi's dead for 70 seconds.
They don't even need the Roche. They don't care. They're just like, all right, we're strong enough. We don't need to wait for Roche. We can just take a fight.
This game is turning into a bit of a train wreck for Aster. Back to the drawing board, I think. The Meepo pick indeed was very good at sealing the deal this draft, as some of their heroes. I mean, pretty much all three of their cores feel like at this stage, they do absolutely nothing against Weeha's power.
Yeah, they can take out the back lines, sure, but you can't deal with the Brewmaster and you can't deal with the Brewmaster pops up, Meepo runs in. You have to just try to kill the back lines, and then once your BKBs run out, you are so threatened. If you get caught in one disable, you're dead. Side of Aster.
I mean, it really, like just watching it, it just feels like you know that this is easy for Weeha. Weeha is not having any problems at all this game. Just another Meepo game for Weeha, and he's making it look very, very simple.
Yeah, HFN too. HFN after just, I mean, he's not like he did bad in the top lane. He was in a 1v1 kind of versus a CK, and he just free farmed. He's 9-1-5 on the Ember too. He's just been having a free game.
No, for sure. I mean, the whole team is just along for a ride. It was only that first sort of bit of the laning stage where it was like, okay, Aster's having a slightly better time, but suddenly, as soon as the action kicked off, the coordination from Chaos was just that much better.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, that was the nature of their draft though, right? We said it, we're like, what is Warlock really doing? Lanes, he doesn't really gank, he doesn't provide you like heals and stuff. And then once mid-game comes, that's where Brew and Warlock really show their power. Even the Meepo, too.
Well, they're trying to head out here, but it looks like they're going to get sent back in a couple of coffins. That's a dead Disruptor. Mushi has to put the BKB. The wards are going to be dropped down. Tavo's going to head towards Baboka, see if he can control anything else and set up for more kills for Chaos. The chains are out onto Baboka. Both supports of Aster dead outside the base. And Weeha, he's straight in. On top of XXS, BKB has to come out. I mean, they're having to BKB and run at this point. There is just no chance, no breathing room, no space for Aster to ever try and fight back. And now, with these two E-players, as we say, it's a lot of siege. They can just fight through the backdoor protection. They don't care on Chaos. They're ready to end this game and move on to game 2.
No, who's the deep push on Aster is like the Shadow Shaman, really. He's like, hey, that's his nuke. If anyone else walks up, they're just dead. And don't even see Siler coming back. Like, he can also throw bugs to slow people down, but they don't have their supports.
They've got a full hex
of anything
on
left
HFN. You can only imagine that all the BKB durations are falling very low on Aster. Not that that would change much, as even when they were longer, they didn't do anything for them in the fights.
Yeah.
As Chaos, they'll take the mid-racks, they'll move up to the top. It's a 17k lead now at 31 minutes, 23-13 for Chaos Esports Club.
It felt like the 3 BKBs would be huge for Aster, but they actually never got the group together with the 3 of them. Chaos just played a bit faster than them, got that like one pick off, got the Roche, and then from there it's literally just been like this massive snowball factor. I just pull up the graph really quickly and it's just pretty much all Chaos since they got that Roche at 24-ish.
Let's see, they're going for a 5-man smoke outside of the base. But I mean, if they find someone, even how do they start the fight? What do they do? They're fighting into a... And the Golem ready to drop. Siler's going to head into the pit. He's got to be very careful. XXS is going to try and jump forward straight away. He's looking to commit on Weeha. He's got Mushi there as well. Can they actually kill Weeha though? The rock's going to be dropped down, cancelling the Requiem. Mushi will finally get it off, but they've already lost Baboka. Mushi gets Hex. Weeha's on top of him with the Earthbind. He'll use himself up, but he cannot escape this. The poofs come out. Mushi's dead for 70 without buyback. Siler's BKB is going to do absolutely nothing for him. GG is called. Game 1 well and truly over as Chaos bring in the Weeha Meepo, and boy, is it an easy game for him and the boys. As that game 1 looked like, Aster, they couldn't do anything. They literally couldn't do anything with this lineup. They were just falling further and further behind each and every minute.
Mushi had a good game overall, right? For the first like 15-20 minutes, he was making moves, running around.
He was getting items.
It got to the point where Chaos' draft came together. The Warlock, the Brewmaster, all their massive amounts of team fight, all these units, everybody was so tanky. Aster just kind of got ran out after that first Roche, and it was literally just full control by Chaos.
I mean, so when you look at a game like this, how'd you go into game 2 as Aster? Do you have to start to be saying, well, we might have to consider just banning the Meepo against these boys, or can they draft in a way that leads them to be less vulnerable against a 5th Meepo like we saw in game 1?
I'm not too sure. I just don't even... They just seem very disconnected too, right? Like Siler getting picked off alone in multiple times in the game, so I'm not too sure. I definitely think that Chaos had a little bit better draft, like we mentioned the Meepo last pick, but Aster were kind of all over the place. It was just Mushi. Mushi was the best one making the moves. The other 2 cores were just getting picked up.
Wow, a rough start